everyone, and welcome back to the Cozy Chair, and happy Valentine's Day! I'm so glad that you are here for a fun story. Now, last year when I was here, I read Love, Ruby, Valentine. This is actually one of my very, very favorite Valentine's books. But when I was at the library on Monday, I found this one, Ruby Valentine Saves the Day. So that's what we're going to read today. And then after today, at the end of today, don't worry, I have not forgotten. We are going to pull out of our learning jar. We're going to find something to learn about next week. Okay, so this is Ruby Valentine Saves the Day, and it's by Laurie Friedman and illustrated by Lynn Avril. This is published by Carol Rhoda Books. Okay, let's see what happens this time to Ruby Valentine. High above the hills of Heartland, just beyond the township sign, with her feathered friend named Lovebird, lived Ruby Valentine. Here's Heartland, and she moved. See, this is a moving truck, a moving van, and she's moving to a new house. Up in the mountains. Now, Ruby had a favorite day. It came round once a year, and she settled into her new house. Valentine's was drawing near. So she decided to throw a party, and without a moment's hesitation, she and Lovebird sat right down and designed the invitation. She just gets right to work, doesn't she? Ruby Valentine, she knows how to work. It's a party on February 14th, also known as Valentine's Day. Please join me at my house to eat and drink and play. I'll await your RSVP that says you'll be mine. I can't wait to celebrate. Love, Ruby Valentine. Ruby mailed the invitations, then hugged Lovebird with affection. She told her feathered friend they'd plan this party to perfection. She and Lovebird hung new curtains. They scoured every nook. They decorated room by room. They began to bake and cook. Remember how I told you? She knows how to work hard. Look at all that she's doing. Oh my goodness. She is going to be ready for that party. When they tidied up the outside, Lovebird clung to every feather. Ruby shivered with excitement, or possibly from bad weather. As the special day drew closer, Ruby counted RSVPs. She never noticed the thermometer. It read 32 degrees. Do you know what 32 degrees is? That's freezing. Oh boy, that's what happens when you live in the mountains. It's very cold. Valentine's is tomorrow, and I want everything to be just right. Ruby tied up gifts and goodie bags, then kissed Lovebird goodnight. At least she's going to bed early this time. Do you remember last book? If you don't remember, go back and read it. But when Valentine's arrived, it brought something unexpected. Though Ruby planned out most things, there was one thing she neglected. A snowstorm? Cried out Ruby. She spent all morning on the phone. No one could make it up the mountain. She'd be celebrating Valentine's alone. Would you want to celebrate alone? Especially after you'd planned a party? Me either. My perfect party, sobbed poor Ruby. Now it won't take place. Lovebird wiped away the tear. They trickled down her face. Then he looked outside the window and said, Do not despair. If no one can make it here, let's take the party there. Ruby looked at Lovebird. This wasn't how I'd planned the day. Lovebird shook his feathers. There is no other way. So together, Ruby and Lovebird carefully packed their sled. As they set down the mountain, Ruby yelled, Full steam ahead! Woo! Here they go. They're sledding down the mountain. But as they made their way to Heartland, little did they know, they left behind a trail of party fare amidst the ice and snow. Look what's happening. When she goes really fast, what's falling off of her sled? Happy Valentine's Day, cried Ruby as she went from door to door. She gathered everyone in Heartland from every school and house and store. Time to celebrate, smiled Ruby. We'll have a party in town square. Then, horrified, she realized her sled was dry and bare. All that stuff fell out. Ruby wrung her hands together. I've made a big mistake. We can't have a party without presents, cards, or cake. Nonsense, said the townspeople. We'll have fun anyway. As long as we're together, let's enjoy the day." So they built a giant snowman. They sang songs around a fire. They sounded so good together. They formed the Heartland Choir. Everyone loved the holiday, but Ruby most of all. It wasn't what she'd planned, but she truly had a ball. Look at all of them having such a fun time at that party. Cookies and music and dancing. In the end, everyone thanked her and said, "You've saved the day." Ruby smiled from ear to ear. She had something she wanted to say. "I've always loved Valentines. You all know that it's true. Though I celebrate every year, today I learned something new. Planning the day out to perfection is not what makes it great. If you're with the ones you love, that's all you need to celebrate." Isn't that so fabulous? That's such a fun story about Ruby Valentine and having such a fun party. It wasn't about the presents or the cake. It was about being with the people that she loves. So I hope this Valentine's Day you can spend time with the people that you love. I almost forgot. We need to pick out of our learning jar for next week. So I'm going to open this up, mix them around. Let's see, this one looks good. We are going to learn about giraffes. So come back next week and we are going to learn all about giraffes. Thanks so much for coming, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.